Rocque, and I'm here with BET.com. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Starr. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Likewise. So tell me about what was your thought process behind taking on such a heavy role, and what did you take away from your portrayal of Mamie that you hope viewers pick up on?
Oh, goodness. The thought process behind stepping into Mamie Till as a role. I just want to honor the truth of the experience. I know, a lot of historical films come out, but you think about, I just want it to be genuine, to be authentic, to be the most real experience we can possibly have. And I honor that by doing deep dives and research, by having a critical eye on her own memoir, on theses of the time, on video and photography, of doing a true deep dive of the environment, the milieu of Mississippi, the environment of Chicago, of being consumed completely by what it means to be this woman of this era. And I take a lot away from the experience of Mamie. I am someone who grew up not in Mississippi, in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I am a child of the civil rights community, in that I did a lot of work with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which is what Dr. King started. And I went to Cascade United Methodist Church, which was pastored by Dr. Joseph Lowry at the time. And so those two were peers and collaborators and friends who started the SCLC together. And they were both deeply impacted by Emmett Till's tragic death, and both deeply impacted by the choice making of Mamie, who did a lot of this work without any kind of model. And so she is the model for them. She is the model to utilize media in a certain kind of way, to make it a global reckoning for folks to look at what's happening to Black people. Otherwise, would that have been happening? I take her with me in that way. We all take her with us, because she laid a path for us to resist on a grander scale.
Your portrayal was beautiful, even in the most heartbreaking scenes, like when she was in the wheelchair, going toward his casket. But there was a scene in particular, I told Whoopi this too, where when Mamie told her parents she was going down to Mississippi, and of course they were like, don't go. And then she says, but I have to do this for Emmett. And then Alma is like, but what about my baby? So, talk about bringing that mother-daughter dynamic between those two women to life. And what did you learn about them as moms?
I learned that Mamie was someone who was coming to and fighting for her independence. And this is the critical moment of independence, the critical moment of searching for what mothering really means to her, especially in light of terror. She's legit saying, I'm going to be a mother in this new way, in a way that the mothering that I knew had been ruptured. And it's when you mother yourself, right? There's always that critical moment where you have to step up, because a mother always wants to tell you what to do, right? Especially, a Southern mother, and a Southern Black mother. And I just know in that moment, I can identify. I have a 13-year-old son, and I had to have a critical moment of taking the reign. And that's when she took the reign, even though taking the reign could have been life costing, and so she was fighting for herself and fighting for her son on myriad planes. And I think that's a critical thing that a lot of Black women are dealing with, especially in dealing with terrorism in America.